Now, can you please help us?
And can you please back up out my damn face? Okay, just back up, okay? I don't like you anyway, and you know that.
Well then.
Okay.
God damn it, there was supposed to be something playing after that, but oh well. Good evening, U.S. Spacey Wolf Squad. It's your Welcome at Wolf Town, your werewolf. We are doing it again, this time with a bit of mystical stuff and adventures and all that jazz. Magic, wizardry, isekais, what have you. We are doing elevator pitch, but this time around we're doing the fantasy genre.
Woo!
Now you know how we do things. We go as long as we can, and we tell each other how much our time was. Now, who wants to go first? But let's start with the introductions. We'll start by being gentlemen today with the Lady of Valor, Leia Plus Size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely Lady of Valor, and welcome to our Elevator Pitch Fantasy. We are very excited for you to hear our ideas, our pitches for fantasy stories. So we hope you enjoy the ideas that we pass on to you, and also maybe perhaps encourage you and inspire you as well to invent and create your own stories. So welcome. Hope you enjoy the show.
New to this whole shindig, he is the Star Warrior himself, also an accomplished book writer of the same name of the story. Coming out with his second book, Part 2 of Star Warrior, he is Draco Nightmare.
Greetings, everyone. The Star Warden is here, and once again braving the dangers of the eternal quest to slay evil in whatever form it rears its head. Today, I have something special for you, a fantasy pitch that you will no doubt love and want me to write. Wait.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you for joining us in tonight's live stream. In this case, we are bringing back Fantasy Pitch. Hopefully, you enjoy what each of us have to offer, and at the same time, it inspires you to create your own work of fiction, whether it's in fantasy, action, adventure, anything, whatever stirs the creative juices inside you.
The Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings to viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan on 12, and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And today, we're doing another elevator pitch stream, this time covering fantasy stories, which I am most definitely looking forward to.
He's been excited since the day I announced it. It's finally here.
Well, can you blame him?
I do not blame him. I'm happy with him. I'm happy for him. But last not least, the most excited person besides Final Fantasy fan among our group. He is the man from deep below in the basement underground with good Wi-Fi. He is the Schooner Tuna.
Coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground, but has excellent Wi-Fi. This is Schooner Tuna. And yeah, I am very much excited for this elevator pitch fantasy hour that we got right now. I'm just hoping my goal here tonight is to entertain. So kick back, put your headphones on, get yourself a drink, maybe pop up some popcorn, and enjoy our little pitches because they are gonna be, well, let's just say, from another world.
Okay, so you guys know how we do this. We have an interloper.
I don't know how we do this. I'm new.
I'll get to it soon. But before we go, we have our guest, technically a member of our own, the Bearer of the North, Eloise the Viewer.
Hey, Eloise.
Hello, Eloise. Welcome.
Hey, Eloise.
Eloise.
Hey there, Eloise.
Bonjour, Eloise.
Eloise. I don't think.
Well, are you gonna say hi to us and the rest of the guests here?
Eloise, you're just being so rude.
Come on.
Come on, we're not bad.
And then for the audience, for us with our
Oh.
pitches.
Okay. So, Wolf, would you like me to describe it?
I hear you, Eloise. She said in the private chat. Wait, hang on. Let's make sure we have technical difficulties in order.
We are having a technical difficulties. Don't worry. With our literal intelligence, we shall figure this out.
I'm not into guys with vaginas.
Oh!
Well, there was a shot right in the balls.
Already starting off a stream that I'm most definitely looking forward to. And yet we're just now starting off with just like, I'm not into guys and vaginas. Oh!
It's okay. It's okay. It's perfect. It's perfect. You got to use humor to draw in the audience. Humor draws them in and it empathizes with the characters. It's perfect.
Yes.
Now, Draco Nightmare is new to this whole gig that we do every once in a while, or when I'm feeling up to it. So this is what we do. I have my Schooner. Do you have your stopwatch too?
I have my start watch. Oh, hang on. Let me get it. I got my start watch. Gotta get my start watch.
So what we do is
got it.
So what we do is, excuse me. Let me clear my throat real quick. Excuse me for that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, so what we do is we punch the clock. You guys go and pitch your story. Now, at least have to be under 5 minutes at best. But if you can go shorter than that and tell your pitch in that amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
we'll tell you the time. And we don't.
You also have to. Nope. What this whole exactly, Wolf. What we got to do is you basically got to sell us your story, and it doesn't matter if it's like, well, wait a minute. What if they don't like fantasy? What if they don't like action or sci-fi? It doesn't matter. Your whole goal is to get them to like it. That's the challenge, or at the very least, you got to get over it. That's once again the obstacle, and you got to properly articulate your main points, your main characters, the story, and how it begins. Maybe. And how it begins, how it ends, and we give you a few pointers along the way. It's like, okay, you got a good idea here, but you got to work on this. The whole point is you got 5 minutes. You're basically selling yourself here.
Yeah, that and the time is specifically on how better you can tell any amount of time that you're supposed to tell. You don't want to be long-winded, and you don't want to be too brief to the point where you gave them nothing in a short amount of time, and you gave them nothing in a over longer time. Get it, Joe?
Yeah, I get it. So basically, how I want to advertise Star Wars, gotta be quick, efficient, and get to the point.
Exactly.
Yep.
Same way how you did it. But this is for everybody, for anybody who's watching, and of course, this is for all of us who wants to improve on pitching ideas and stories. Anything. It's that's what the name of the title is. It's the elevator pitch. It's what you get ready for during the elevator, and once you hit that, once the door's open, your time of preparing is over. You are ready when you step out that door.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get no second chance to make a first impression. Remember that, guys. So, who wants to start first so that Draco can get a good idea?
Final Fantasy fan should start first. He's been chomping at the bit to do it.
Yeah, I was about to say final.
But I always want to go last.
That's okay. I'll break the ice. I'll take the bullet for everybody. I'll go first.
All righty.
All right.
Hang on.
Yep.
Get ready. On your mark. Get set. Go.
Okay. It is Ocean's 11 meets The Lord of the Rings. Picture this. You got a man named Jack. He's just gotten out of prison. He started a correspondence with somebody. He's trying to get his life back together, and the guy turns out that he's corresponding with has a job for him. Here's the catch. The job is actually by a little elf. At first, Jack can't believe this. He's like, what the hell is this? The elf says to him, Jack, I heard you were the greatest thief in the entire world, and I need your help in stealing something. Well, more so my employer does. And he's like, what? He says, elves, dwarves, fairies, oh, they're all real. And guess what? Like the human world, we got our own banks. But and he gives them the floor plans of this very sophisticated bank. We get a nice, cool little bit of world building here about how this fantasy world had evolved, alongside the human race and right under their nose. But here's the really cool part. He tells them about this vault that's got all of the gold of from all over the world. And he says, you can get the gold, but we want an item that's inside that vault. And Jack is like going, well, wait a minute. You told me that there's all this magical security and these orcs and these whole things. This is made to make sure that nobody can get in. How can I possibly get in? The little elf tells him, well, it's only for magical creatures. Only human. The only thing that it's not made for is humans. So now Jack and his crew, they got to break into this vault. Bingo. That's the elevator pitch right there. You can mark my ending.
1 minute and 40 seconds.
Well, I got 41. I was slow on the draw, but yes, definitely 1 minute, 40 seconds. What was the title of this story?
It's called Withdrawal.
So, how did everybody like it?
He sold me. I like that idea.
I want to watch it.
Oh, the fantasy. Yes, this is a good, interesting take on fantasy creatures. I like how you said Lord of the Rings meets Ocean 11. And I like that there's a catch. Now you say the dwarf is a dwarf, you said, that comes to him, or was it an elf? I'm sorry.
It was an elf.
Was it an elf? It was an elf.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yeah, he gets
I'm
bit by an
thinking
elf, he said.
Okay, so the elf, you said Lord of the Rings. Now, will this be the tiny, short little elves that we're used to, or is he a Legolas type of elf?
Well, here's the crazy thing is that all elves from legend are there. So you have your high elves from the Lord of the Rings. You got your little elves of the Santa Claus. Okay, so there's all different walks of life.
Mind you, don't worry about the numbers. This is not a competition, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much you could try to go. Remember,
and if you got any questions, let me know, because this is how an elevator pitch works. You give them your story, and if they start asking questions, more often though, they try to poke holes. You got to be there to answer them, be lickety split, and be ready to go. So you said, yeah, the biggest catch here is that the reason why he wanted Jack is because all of the magical security and the wards that are put in there are all made with magical creatures in mind. Since they have lived outside of the human realm for a long time, this oversight, they've never made any sort of they've never made any countermeasures against humans. So essentially, a human can break in.
So this
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, Louise, yay, we can hear you.
Bonjour.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
That's good. Hello, Leia.
Scoony, you've intrigued me with this, because I was about to ask, is there something special? Is there something special as to why they chose Jack, or do you want to reveal that? Is there something special specifically about him?
Well, okay, so here's no, nothing's interesting about Jack. He's just simply known as the greatest cat burglar in the world. In his heyday, he did one final heist, which was, of course, he did one final heist, but due to the extremes of the heist itself, it forced him into retirement or with his arrest. Now, he paid his dues, he gave everything back, and I think the reason why he didn't go to jail for the rest of his life is because he was the greatest burglar in the world, which means he had connections to the criminal world. So he gave up so basically, and this is the funny part, is that when he's trying to get his crew, these are all former people that he put away. So this leads to a lot of hijinks.
Well, I guess that is actually connected to one of my questions is if he is in some shape or fashion was he inspired by Lupin the Third?
Yeah, he is. He was inspired by Lupin the Third, but he's not the gentleman thief. He's not. He has a moral code, but he's not the gentleman thief where he says, "Okay, I'm going to rob your establishment in 48 hours and do your best to try to stop me." He's all about covert, and of course he's not that guy anymore. But when he finds out about this, he gets out of prison. He's got absolutely nothing, and he's got to settle on a blue collar job, and he doesn't want to do that. So this elf has been writing to him and says, "Hey, we keep an eye." This elf, by the way, has an employer, and that's the twist. They want to get the gold inside the vault, but there's something else inside the vault. And the vault actually also contains the scepter of the first magic. And
all right.
Yeah, it's basically the employer wants to get his hands on the scepter of first magic so that he can take over the magical realms. So Jack and his guys are they're going to become accidental heroes.
Neat.
I like it.
Bad guys.
I do.
They become the accidental heroes. They stop the bad guy, and they give, the magical realm is all grateful to them, and they say, "What a bunch of great guys." And they say, "Yeah, you know what? You guys are pretty cool. So you know what? We'll keep quiet about all this, and we'll just leave." But the twist at the end, they robbed all the gold from the vault. They still took the gold.
I like the idea that these bad guys have been pulled into a magical realm.
Mm-hmm.
Scoonie, do you mind me asking this thief, does he believe in these characters, or is he a cynical sort of person?
Well, he says that they say, let me guess, they say, Art, do you not believe in us anymore? He says, "I'm staring at a 3-foot tall individual elf in my room. So either I'm going crazy or either I'm going crazy or you're real. But since you told me there's a lot of money to be involved here, I'm willing to stretch my mind out just a little bit."
All right, then. Any more questions before we move on?
I do have one more. What was the inspiration for Withdrawal?
The inspiration for Withdrawal, believe it or not, it was has anybody ever done a fantasy heist movie before?
Oh, good one. That's a
but not only that,
Dungeons and Dragons movie is kind of trying doing that, or at least
they're trying to do
Wes Anderson.
Keyword is trying.
Yeah,
well,
but
the
I was
trailer suggested it, but I think they're brushing into something else different entirely. So you might be in the safe.
Yeah, but I'm also taking another more hyper. It's a more hyper view of The Hobbit as well, because if you really think about it, Bilbo Baggins he was going on an adventure, but he wasn't some chosen one hero. He was recruited by a band of dwarves to basically steal from a dragon. You want to break it down in the super simplistic terms. But
I follow.
Who wants to be next?
Same here.
So who's going next?
Dom, do you want to go? I was going to go.
I'll go. No, I'll go after Final.
Go ahead, Final.
I just want to be saved best for last, really.
Okay.
All right, I'll go. Draco.
All right, I'll go after Leo. I'll go after you, Leo.
Okay. All right. Let me know when to start.
Alrighty.
All right, countdown in 3, 2, 1.
My pitch is The Little Mermaid meets Greek mythology, or Hans Christian Andersen meets Greek mythology. Picture in your mind that a young man is walking on the beaches of a Caribbean island with a small guitar in his hand, and he's singing a famous song made by Harry Belafonte, the Banana Boat song, Deo, Deo, Daylight come and me want to go home. it's nighttime with a full moon and a beautiful ocean. But as he sings, Deo, another voice out in the ocean responds back to him, a beautiful voice that says, daylight come and me one go home. Right back to him. He's intrigued by this beautiful voice. He must find out who he is. So without thinking and pulled by this voice, he rushes into the ocean, even though it is dark, and it's only the moonlight that shines. He keeps singing the song over again, Deo, hoping that the voice would respond back to him, and it does, but he can't find it. So he keeps going out into the ocean, deeper and deeper into the water. But as he goes and under haste or too fast or not seeing where he's going, he hits his head, he's knocked unconscious, and he falls under the sea. But then arms come up and rescue him and pulls him out of the water and takes him back onto the beach. And as he lays on the beach, slowly trying to come into the consciousness, a voice whispers in his ear the song back to him, daylight come and me one go home. And then he opens up his eyes, and in the moonlight, he sees the silhouette of a very curvaceous woman. He doesn't see her face, he just sees her shadow as the moonlight beams under him. And she disappears back into the water. It is at that moment that this young prince decides that he is determined to find out who that woman was and who that beautiful voice is. This story is basically a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid, but it is told by the prince. It's his point of view. And all the songs will all be original songs written for this film that will take in calypso and salsa and the rhythms of the Caribbean islands. And the title of this is going to be Under the Sea. But this character, this female, is not a mermaid. She is the classic Greek mythology creature, a siren.
I'm impressed.
Right.
And that's
That
it.
was all right. That
2.5 minutes.
The pitch done because I needed to stop my clock. But
Okay.
I like it actually. This really, yeah, I like the
2
fact that
minutes
this
and 30
is.
seconds to be precise.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that this is the Little Mermaid told from the prince's point of view, because I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
I don't think I ever seen anything like that too.
Yes, it is told by, that's why in MeWe, if you guys gotta look, I sent you pictures of a young Harry Belafonte. That was the inspiration for the story, because Harry Belafonte was so handsome when he was younger. And I said, that's my prince, since people are claiming they want more ethnicity in their fairy tales. Well, let you take it any better than that. And I decided that also to take on more of, I'm sucking out a little bit of Disney. Like, for instance, all of the songs will be original. No one is going to, it's not going to be a retelling of Part of Your World. We've got to come up with something different, because my character is more of a siren. And so her music is going to be more sensual and seductive. This is going to be a sensual, seductive mermaid tale.
Is she gonna eat them though?
Yeah, I guess that was the next question. I guess that was the next question I was going to ask too. Is this story going to be the siren going to become a human, or is she already a humanoid figure that could just happen to breathe underwater?
She is sort of a humanoid figure, but she has never crossed into the human world. She's sort of banned from the human world, which, like in The Little Mermaid, she will need magic to go to the human world to meet him or to be with him. She fights, she buckles the tradition of destroying men. She doesn't want to do that because she has a love for the human race. So it would take a magical spell for her to come and to be with this prince. And the prince is,
I like that you made her sexy.
Yes, she's going to be sexy. Yes, she is. She's going to be.
Well, she's a siren. That's what they always do. Because many creatures in legends always use seduction to lure people, to suddenly get them into the traps, like get them into their clutches.
What? Yes, it's kind of a catch-22, because Ariel's voice is beautiful. Her voice is beautiful, but it's seductive. So when she sings her songs, they are seductive and sensual.
Kind of reminds me of that one horror movie with the mermaid called She Creature.
I even like the idea too. He doesn't see her face in the moonlight, but what if he actually sees the glowing of her eyes?
Right.
Right.
You
But
said
Go ahead.
You said this was this was a more ethnic fairy tale. Can you expand on that, please?
I want to place her, being I was influenced by Harry Belafonte and his music. I watched a documentary on his music. His music is calypso. So I'm thinking that the island that this takes place is in, it could be Jamaica, Barbados, Cuba, the Caribbean islands, the Caribbean rhythm. I have one scene like in The Little Mermaid where she's on shore. The prince takes her over a tour of his kingdom. When she comes to shore at the time of Carnival. So the music is central. It's got a calypso beat. If you ever heard calypso music, I want to put emphasis on that style of music. It's beautiful. It's sensual. It's rhythmic. So that part of the world is what I'm focusing on.
So the Caribbean or Brazil, South America?
Yes, in that area.
I like how there's a real theme here of music more telling the story. And how it's kind of more, like you said, incorporating fairy tale with Greek myth, and it's all cultural, and I like it.
Yeah, because like, is the main character a bard?
The prince, he
Yeah.
is a prince, but you know he loves music. He wish he was more of a musician. He's under pressure. There is a father in the story that wants him to take on this mantle and find a way, but he loves the music and the sea, and he likes to sing and wishes he could do more of that. So he's in a struggle of his own. But he's
struggling he's struggling with responsibility of the man he must be.
To Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
Kind of. Precisely. He's more like he's torn between the life of responsibility and the life he wants to have. In fact, you could even say he's kind of trying to have his cake and eat it too when he goes and he sings to the people.
Yes, and that's part of the draw to our siren.
Toss a coin to your siren, oh valley of plenty.
That is the draw to this siren because she is all music, and she has the image. She's watched him from the sea as he sits on the island with his little guitar and sings. No, watch. She's been watching him at night. She comes because he goes to get away from his responsibility.
Swatching.
I think it's also, would the prince also
just swashbuckler instead of swashbuckler instead.
Yeah.
Would you say that the prince, while he enjoys the praise the people give him for his music, he's wondering if his music really is good? And it isn't until he hears the siren sing back to him that makes him realize.
Yes, yeah. Yes, Goonies. It's like I was beginning to say that in the story. He comes to the ocean at night to sing, to get away from all his princely duties. She's been watching him. So she's been hearing his music, and he that kind of inspires him more, because when she becomes totally human and she's on land with him, she encourages him to pursue the music.
Listen to the music.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I like how it shows the power of music.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on the joy and power of music in this story. And you also have to remember she's seductive. So even though she when she takes her human form, that characteristic of seductiveness is still there.
So the entire story itself is driven solely by music.
You say she's curvaceous. Are you talking about Venus D'Amelio?
That name sounds familiar. Yes, she's curvaceous in a healthy way. I'm thinking J-Lo, curvy.
That ain't what I meant, Leia.
Oh, is that an artist? A painter?
The Birth of Venus.
Oh, I was thinking. Yes, you could. Yes. I was looking at artwork when I was dreaming this up of what do I want her to look like, and yes, I want her to have curves. I want her to be womanly. Ariel is more of a teenage
rise out of a shell.
No, she does not rise out of a shell. She rises straight from the. Yes, there's some bubbles as she comes from the sea, comes from the ocean.
Hey, sounds like a after your heart, Scooter. Bloop, 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 bloop.
So yeah. Anyways, I asked So the entire story itself is it solely driven by music?
Music plays a big part in this story. It shows the power of music and what the passion of music and how music brings out the best of us as a society and why we need it. That's kind of part of the story. The prince, in a way, kind of wants to show his father, who's putting pressure on him to be a king, to show that, yeah, I'll be this, I'll take on this land, but I still think music should stay in the lives of the people, and I should still be able to give it to them. And final, like I said, these are all the songs that I would want for this should be original. I don't want anything
with the exception of Deo.
Yes, with the exception of Deo. I meant to say that. Yeah, it's like a retelling or reversion of that. I want that song has to be in it because that's how they call to each other.
Right.
Now, since music is a major factor in your pitch.
What did you say, Dom?
Go ahead, Dom.
Pardon?
Since music is a major factor in your pitch, like, who do you want to hire as a composer?
Hans Zimmerman.
Right. Don't know. Do you think he can do sensuality? I don't want noise. It has to be. That's hard because I totally
think something that's whimsical or even sensual in case of a siren would sound like something straight from Inception.
It has to be someone who understands calypso and Caribbean rhythms.
You have to find somebody from there then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Danny Elfman.
Hell no.
What?
We must wait. No, there's only one choice. We must get Bob Marley immediately.
or get one of his kids.
Ziggy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
Ziggy.
Bob Marley's dead?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
Dang.
He was dead
However,
years far back, dude. Where you been?
He was
younger than most of you.
I know.
However, his legacy continues to live on through his kids, as Wolf mentioned, is Ziggy being one of them.
Yeah, we'll get him. We'll get Ziggy Marley.
Or better
That
yet,
would be good.
we can get Jimmy Cliff. Wait, he's dead too. Is he?
It'll be someone like for the carnival scene when they come.
Bob Marley been dead since 1981.
Yeah, so before I was even born.
I want the music to I want to put emphasis on that style of music in this pitch because the style of music. The style of music.
This man was potent.
Personally, I think you just need to get the top minds of calypso and like what you were saying, Leia. Get the top musicians of those fields.
I'm trying to the fact this motherfucker had 11.
And I'm picturing this as almost like this film being shot almost like a Broadway show.
Yes, it is. Yeah. That's what it has to be filmed as because, like I said, I want that music to be emphasized because it's great music. Like in my mind, I was going to pitch the scene where he takes her when she comes to shore. She comes to shore right at Carnival. And here in America, it's very sister to it is Mardi Gras, but in Brazil they have Carnival, and it's colorful and it's costumes, and she just falls in love with it. And you hear a lot of that rhythm. The Carnival scene has to be big, like Broadway style musical numbers, and they dance at this carnival, and it's supposed to be where they fall in love, and I want that to be in there because she falls in love with that as well, and she sees the costumes and the colorful costumes and the music and the rhythm, and she just sucks all that in. She falls in love with all of it. She sees the good that humans can do. Whereas in her part of the world, like in the story, they want the sirens are not there to be friends with humans, but to destroy them. She buckles that. She doesn't want to do that. She says there's good in them.
Yeah. And how does it end exactly?
No.
All right.
Move on.
All right.
Well, I guess one more name I can add in as a suggestion for your potential composer, Alan Menken, who composed for the music of The Little Mermaid. Under the Sea, it it does contain like Calypso.
You're right. I wouldn't mind if Alan Menken would want to do it. I would be open to that for sure. Yes, I would be open to that for sure. But the thing is, and that was inspired by The Wiz. The movie The Wiz had its own original songs. So she would not re-sing Part of Your World. She would have something very different. It has to be sensual because that is who she is. And it cannot be a Part of Your World 2.0. Alan Menken would have to come up with an original song for her to sing.
Well, which is why by teaming him up with the architects of Calypso, it can help him in composing those original songs.
Correct. So I would be open to do, if he was open to do original songs, I would definitely sign him on. You're right.
ready?
He does.
Who's ready to go next?
All right, I'm up next.
Very well, Jacko.
right.
You're new to this, but you know what? You're gonna get your feet in the water. So, and the count of three, 3, 2, 1, and go.
The law is harsh, but firm and fair. Fair to all who need it. Imagine this. Imagine the story with the impact nature of Judge Dredd and the supernatural horror of shows of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. So, imagine a world. No, United States of America. Still in a recovery state after surviving an invasion of the outer god. The supernatural has arrived. Werewolves, vampires, pixies, gnomes, whatever you can find, whatever you've seen in the stories, they are here. And unfortunately, they do not coexist well with the human race. In order to maintain stability, a new department of the United States Marshals have been formed. Known for their distinctive black badges, they are known as Black Marshals. Their job is to maintain order between Americans and the supernatural creatures who are not considered citizens of the land. These marshals have the right and the authority to try, arrest, and execute on the spot any supernatural creature that preys on any American citizen, and they live in specially designed cities known as gridirons. Cities built mostly out of raw iron, as it is a counter to their supernatural natures. Our specific marshal that we are focusing on is known as Jamie Miles, one of the few surviving genetically enhanced designer babies that were bred by the U.S. government to fight off the outer god invasion. Now seeking to continue to do her duty, she became a Black Marshal and goes to the Gridiron City that once used to be the San Francisco Bay Area. Her mission is to find and eliminate the Eclipse Cult, a group of vampires who have their own secret plans for the devastation of the United States, though none know specifically what they intend. But she also has a secret mission, a mission personally for her. To find the family, to find the connection she had with her fellow soldiers who died off in the war. Hopefully, with the aid of a corporate wizard, a private detective, and others she meets in the city. Jamie Miles is on a mission to soothe her own heart and to bring justice to all supernatural creatures that seek to harm the United States of America. Hoorah! And Mark.
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
That's
Very
correct.
good.
I especially enjoy the real American aesthetic. It's like really America. Fuck yeah!
Have you not seen how the Star Wars dresses? He's wearing red, white, and blue.
Oh, I already love that design.
I was totally expecting some Star Wars and stuff, but I didn't expect this.
I like it. I love it. I totally love. Now I ask, your protagonist is a female, correct?
Yes.
I like the idea. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also mentioned that she was searching for a connection, a family connection of some kind.
Yes, she's looking for that same camaraderie and trust that her old unit used to have. But unfortunately, her old unit would either died off, driven insane by the outer god, or suffered other consequences, which would be explained more in the story.
Okay, I'm going to ask this. She's not a Mary Sue, is she?
No.
Hell
I
Okay.
mean,
no.
she
Doesn't
is.
sound like
I
it.
mean, it does sound like. I mean, she's a genetically engineered super soldier. So yes, she is effectively. She's
A
effectively.
badass.
Yeah, she's effective, and she is stronger than the average male because of that. But
Okay.
that's not. But she's not. Her biggest flaw is not. Her biggest flaw is the fact that she's a very cold character. She's a very harsh character, which is fitting for her job, but not fitting in socializing.
Somebody
Which is-
cutting something?
That's me punching buttons.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Basically,
Playing Soul Calibur 6.
she's not good at socializing. She's good at enforcing the law. She's good at her job. But when it comes to dealing with people, that's difficult, which is what she acknowledged, and is part of the reason she's trying to overcome that flaw by trying to take people. But she's a very
Playing 2B.
what?
I'm playing 2B.
I also like the idea that because already right off the bat, the audience can connect with her because they're like, she's looking for a place to fit in, which, who hasn't been?
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch, I was supposed to bring in Neil Star for this one
I al-
too. Sorry,
I
Neil
also-
Star.
I also love the fact that, like you said, she's very cold. So what happened to the genetically enhanced humans who were supposed to fight the Outer Gods? After the Outer God was defeated, the Outer Gods were defeated, did they all just scatter?
No, well, many of them died as casualties of war, fighting off effectively elder creatures. Others, dealing with Outer God caused insanity, and sadly, despite the genetic enhancements, some of them just went plain insane after dealing with it.
Did she fight in that war, or is she a
She did
child of
fight.
one of them?
She did fight in that war.
I see.
Yes, and the other parts of her unit, let's just say after the war, not everyone wanted to just be an agent of the U.S. government.
I see. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of the beginning of Rambo: First Blood, when he's looking for other members of his unit.
Did not expect that comparison. Go ahead. Lynn.
I'm sold with the female character. That's why I'm glad. Because I was asking along the way in her journey, does she learn any lessons, or does she get better, or does she work on what's holding her back? You say her interaction with she doesn't know how to interact with other people. So does that improve as she goes along, or does it improve by the other people that she meets? Is there a love interest for her?
I'm thinking yes, there will be. That would be one of the areas that helps her improve. In fact, her love interest would be someone who would be able to help her get out of that shell. Like she's hard to approach because she's very professional, and so this person who also comes from a professional background knows how to deal with that.
Is that porn comedy called Amanda and the Alien come into effect on this one?
No, it is not porno.
Kidding.
Ugh.
Seriously,
Dare
there's a porno comedy called Amanda and the Alien. You should definitely check it out. It's pretty funny.
God.
Wolf, I will spray you.
So I guess the question is that you mentioned that she was going to meet a lot of friends along the way. Is her love interest the wizard, the private investigator, or who?
Honestly, I've been thinking it's the wizard. It's going to be the wizard.
And also, one thing, Draco. One question: what were your inspirations for your pitch?
Well, Judge Dredd for one.
Nice.
Okay. Yes.
A show like Dark Angel.
Oh, I love Dark Angel.
Angel and Buffy, and I did have an idea for doing a cyberpunk series. But like, okay, wait, I'll take that, but I'll make it more fantasy this time.
Okay.
But here's one bit of inspiration. This is actually from an old idea. An old idea I've actually had with this same character, but she was just specifically a vampire hunter. And I was like, I could actually. So when I was thinking of a picture, I'm going to resurrect that idea, use it and change it a bit, and then apply it for this.
Okay.
I
So,
like it. I have one question to ask. One less. I'm sorry. One question. Draco, is this a motion picture, or are you pitching this as a TV show? Because I think it
Definitely
can go
TV
either way.
series.
Yeah, that's the feeling, a vibe I got from it. Okay, well, I'm sold. I like
I'm
that.
already told. I got this foot. I already. I could just picture too her talking to the wizard because the wizard's trying to talk to her, and she says, "You know, I am authorized. You know, given my job, I can execute you right here on the spot."
And the foreplay
so wait a
begins.
tick. Don wants to go last. Fawn wants to go last.
Cody
go.
Cost.
Drake, let me just say that I love these pitches so far. They're amazing.
All right, you are certainly going to love mine.
All right. Let's get the clocks ready.
Yep.
And 3, 2, 1, and go.
Two kingdoms are at war. Hato, a kingdom united by honor and peace, and Thana, a kingdom united by loyalty and tyranny. These two kingdoms are locked in a war spanning over 20 years. Shujinko Heiwa, the youngest prince of Thana of Hato origins, is tasked to purge any resistance groups in Thana under the name of Thana's current king, King Victor. Shujinko, aided along with his adopted siblings, Magnus, Venus, Hugo, and Fiorella, all managed to find most of the resistance groups in Thana. But when Shujinko questions King Victor's methods, he is immediately set up for execution, and forever branding Shujinko a traitor. As soon as Shujinko escapes from Thana as far away as he could, he passes out from exhaustion, only to find himself in a room emitting sunlight from a window. Confused, he is met by a woman who reveals herself to be her long-lost mother, Haruka Heiwa. She reveals everything to her son about the true nature of King Victor and his downfall, as well as when he was abducted when he was 3. Shujinko, realizing he's lived through a lie, he and his real siblings, Akio, Asuka, Daisuke, and Ayaka Heiwa, set off to find and stop King Victor, under the condition that he'll save his adopted siblings from their tyrannical father. End of pitch.
Wow.
1 minute and 40
Yes.
seconds.
Yeah.
1 minute and
Okay.
yeah, I got 1 minute and 41, but it's good. You got everything.
Yes, you
All right,
did.
it piqued my interest. Not because I'm a big fan of fantasy, mind you, but I'm really. Is this a TV show, a book, or a game?
It will be a novel.
Oh wow!
Full-blown novel.
Okay, will this be a series of books or just
No,
one
just
novel?
one. Just one.
Wow, one novel. Okay, all right. Then this is Fantasy Fun. If you don't asking, is this a fantasy kingdom or world, or is it set in a real kingdom or world? Or can you give me a little bit more context as to where this is at? Is this a kingdom that you've made like Middle Earth or something like that?
Well, pretty much. It's set in one continent where there are two opposing kingdoms just set in a full-blown war. Because my inspiration just for this is actually from one underappreciated game, or actually games rather, that being
Motherfucker.
yeah, Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh.
So that's the biggest inspiration for this one, because it is inspired by a Fire Emblem game. Actually, my first one. Yeah, pretty Shakespearean, as Neostar said. Pretty Shakespearean. So yeah, and the war has been spanning for about 20 years, and so then, I said that the main character's name is Shujinko, because he's named after Shujinko from Mortal Kombat Deception.
Nice.
But his arc from being a Dark Knight to the Dark Kingdom of Thana, to then suddenly fighting for the light, to save his siblings from their father. His entire arc is pretty much Cecil Harvey from Final Fantasy IV. Still going with the Final Fantasy themes for my novels, or Final Fantasy elements in my novels. In my fantasy stories, actually, yeah.
And so she and her siblings are trying to overthrow. Oh, I'm sorry. He and his siblings are trying to overthrow the tyrannical dictator, right?
Yeah, under the condition to save his adopted siblings from their father, their evil father, because they're because the thing on this story is think Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright, where Corrin does join his real family of Hoshido, but with Revelations ending, where so then they're starting to realize his adopted siblings, they lived through this lie for so long because King Victor is a liar. Like I don't want to get too
King
much
Victor the Deceiver.
Well, he's constructed a lie just for them because he's literally had nobody left in his family. Because I don't want to get into too much of his own backstory, but it's pretty much more tragic. So he's pretty much more of a bit of a sociopath.
I see.
So yeah, a sociopathic vampire. And also I also got bird themes for both of the kingdom's banners. And they're also in contrasting with colors. So the bird theme for Hato is a dove symbolizing peace. And so, but then to contrast this with Thana, where their bird in this one is a raven symbolizing death, because Thana comes from Thanatos, Greek mythology's death god. In fact, King Victor used that has a raven as his messenger. In fact, it's all over Thana. And mainly it's just more so it's like a symbol of that they're always watching. That they're always watching and everyone's afraid to speak out due to this. Because if they do, it means death.
I like it.
I do too. The main character.
I like how there's a lot of lore and story in the aesthetics, like the banners, the armor, and just simply the walks of life.
Yes, because they are very much opposed.
Yeah.
So which Final Fantasy game are you specifically focusing on?
Huh?
Like for inspiration, did you have a specific Final Fantasy game in mind you were drawing from, or is this just general?
In terms of specifically, this is based on a Fire Emblem game. It is based on Fire Emblem Fates, loosely, because it's beat for beat. It's Fire Emblem Fates. But in terms of other Final Fantasy games, I would like to say Final Fantasy IV for one thing, but I would like to take some other Final Fantasy games for inspiration. But if not, then yeah, I pretty much would say Final Fantasy IV.
The character that you created, the wolf's pumping those fingers.
Sorry.
Oh my god, that's okay. That game must be good.
It's okay. I'm attributing it to
freaking give me no damn ground, so I'm just hammering at what works, trying to break his guard and shit.
I've actually been
is blocking ass.
Oh god.
I've always thought it was Wolf's facial tics.
Okay, Leia, you're about to ask.
Yes, your main protagonist. Is he the hero of the story?
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. That's another. I'm sorry, just to interrupt. Thank you, Final, because I am so happy we know there are clear good and clear bad guys.
Mm-hmm. In fact, his name is Shujinko, which means protagonist, and that is Shujinko, what Shujinko translates to.
Mm-hmm. So this is a good old-fashioned good versus evil plot, because I'm not saying
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, it is. In the most of the elevator pitches that we've had so far, we've had our clear-cut good guys and bad guys, but there's always a bit of a moral center between most of them. I mean, I know with mine, Leia's actually yours was pretty clear-cut, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your name. I'm sorry.
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Strako.
Shrenko, thank you. And yours is actually pretty good too, but it's about a protagonist who's trying to find the inner hero. For Final, yours is like, it's clearly defined. These are the heroes. These are the villains. This is the world in which they occupy. And yes, I know it's all a little clearly defined, but the story, it's about the journey of the story. And that's what's important. It's not so much, okay, we know who the good guys or the bad guys are. It's about enjoying the story.
Yes. And that's what I always like to do for my stories in fantasy. Like for my stories. And for this one, this is gonna be a big focus on family. Because this is about trying to save his family, because he gives a damn about both of his families. Because his real siblings over at Hato, they are his real family, and he does actually care about them because they've been looking for him ever since he's been gone for about several years, ever since he's been captured since he was 3. But then he gives a damn about, he cares about his family, his adopted siblings over at Thana, because they've raised him.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously he gives a damn about both families, but both of his siblings, they're not gonna come together and sing Kumbaya because they've been at each other's throats for years now, because
This is centuries of bad blood.
20 years, in fact.
20 years of bad blood.
Yeah.
And you can't just forgive and forget that. But I like the theme here, because if politics are a reflection of the culture, culture is a reflection of our families.
Yes.
And I like that.
Anybody ready to move on now?
One last question. Final,
Yeah.
is there a hero's journey with your protagonist? Is this part of the hero's journey? Is there any of that ingredient in your story with your main character?
It's more so with him. I would still have to figure out, like, the journey I would want him to go through is basically him trying to redeem his adopted siblings, because the entire story is about family. But but he also wants to redeem, trying to get his adopted siblings to fight alongside his real family, just to stop King Victor, his adopted siblings' real father, just to end his reign of terror on Thana, as it's been already going on, because he's not the man that they think he is.
I'm in love with it already, because I like the family element in this story. We don't see that much often, and I love that. The fact that he wants to redeem his adoptive siblings that's a hero journey within itself. So
exactly. I like that too. He finds out he's related to people in both kingdoms. His first reaction is, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to use this to my advantage?" It's like, okay, I got to redeem it. We got to stop. I have to redeem my family. I got to save them. We have to stop fighting.
Yes.
Sold. I would definitely publish this story. I would reconsider you thinking of graphic novel, but that's up to you. Because I would love to see a visual representation of this. But
oh yeah, because I imagine.
Plus, the action could get a little graphic.
Would the action be graphic? Not unnecessarily.
Okay, so we're not going full on Game of Thrones. We're going full on. We're going full on Lord of the Rings.
Pretty much, yeah. Because it is pretty much kind of a war story, because Fire Emblem has always been known to being a war story, because it is a tactical video game series. But what was I about to say with this? Damn it. Now I remember. Because in terms of adaptations, I see this being an animated show.
Yes, I like that.
In the style of Castlevania?
Maybe.
Or more, are we talking like Arcane?
Castlevania.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I already have the designs of the characters anyway, because I already have a visual look of how I want them to look like in terms of adaptations, even though it is going to be a full-blown novel. But in terms of those adaptations, I would definitely use those designs for the animated show.
And Dunk
Okay.
team.
Again,
Trying
I'm
for a
sold.
special move on his ass.
I am sold on that final kind of story. I've been looking forward to pure fantasy. I love the family element. That is so refreshing to see that. And like Scooney brought out, the heroic comes in him wanting to bring his families together. Love that.
'Cause, I mean, he's already hailed as much of a hero alongside with
Oh, you bastard.
two of his other siblings in Thana, but then he realized, oh my god, those resistance groups, they're actually right, because King Victor is already setting up this rule of tyranny, but secretly because he wants to kill me because of how much I look like my own father, my real father.
Oh my gosh, and that would be perfect. It's like his popularity is growing and could one day threaten him.
Well, not because he's popular, but because he's beginning to be so much like his own father, and that's why, because King Victor was already friends with his real father, and then they already had a falling out because he cheated on his wife 3 times.
Ooh.
King Victor.
And I'm like,
Victor cheated on his wife.
oof. I'm like, oof.
Yeah, King Victor cheated on his wife 3 times. They had a falling out. He started spiraling out of control, and then the two of them broke up as
Say
friends.
no more. Let's get ready for the next.
Wait, before we move on, I have one last question. How
Go ahead.
evil is King Victor?
Really evil. He is a tyrant.
All right, so like Emperor Mateus evil?
Yes.
Good.
Think of him as King Gowron, because this is Fire Emblem Fates.
Right.
Ooh. That's
I still need
a
to
good
play some
man.
Fire Emblem. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Dom?
You're up, Dom.
All right, let's get the class ready.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, start.
All right. So for this elevator pitch up for fantasy, this will be part of a 7-book novel series. So by beginning this pitch, after aiding an old friend in a police investigation, immortal Cisco Cars, what's up?
Nothing. Keep going.
Don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. I thought one of you said something, but as I was saying, after aiding an old friend in a police investigation, immortal Cisco Cars, one of Dodson Medical Center's top physicians and masked hero by night, is prompted to come back to a secret organization called the Black Rose after discovering a sinister plot involving the disappearance of superhumans born from the passing of a comet in the summer of 1967. Reuniting with old friends and allies, Cisco needs to put together a team to find 7 of these unique individuals who hold the key in shutting down the entire operation. However, one wrong move, they'll be among the missing. And that's my pitch.
1 minute and 6
Wow.
seconds.
He's already got the shortest one. Son of a bitch.
Dude, you came prepared.
Yes, he did.
Oh, 2 of these leave.
And in that 1 minute, he's got me already invested. Dom, you bastard.
I don't know about you. That's fucking awesome.
I'm pulled in too. Yes. Oh, I want more. Oh, I want more.
I want to know because already I've made it no secret. I got a weakness for superheroes.
I mean, oh yeah, I've just grown up with
he's an
superheroes since I was a kid.
so-
I'm already sold on it.
So
Yeah.
it's about an immortal superhero?
Well, he has done superheroing in the past, but he's more. As mentioned in the pitch, he is one of Dodson Medical Center's top physicians. However, he is a masked hero by night. But it is said during a time where you don't see it that much like superheroes versus villains battles because of an incident that occurred prior to the events of Book 1, which led to a scenario similar to what happened to the Justice Society in the DC universe before New 52, and also the opening of The Incredibles.
I like that. You're already taking great little arcs from great stories, something similar.
So wait, so superheroes are like The Incredibles, superheroes are like bands or something?
Well, he's the one chosen
Were they
to
banned
go.
or did they just disappear?
They well they've chosen to not reveal the secret identity to the government. So they decided to go underground. So in a legal in a legal sense, they were forced to stop doing what they were doing. However, since they're going underground, well, like these instances do occur, but however they occur in a mirror dimension. So whenever a fight ensues, he was like they actually have someone like have a person within their ranks who can either reality warp or is a magic user, and it causes them to be transported to a mirror dimension so they can have their battles.
Interesting.
Oh, I like that. I like
So there's a
that.
realm between the worlds where they are continuing the immortal battle of good versus evil.
Yes, and on this Earth is actually an alternate. It is this Earth has an alternate history which has been impacted by not just superhumans but also the supernaturals as well.
Fascinating.
A world,
Supernatural.
a world within that the human world knows nothing about, but they do.
Well,
I love that.
well,
This-
they do.
Go
Well,
ahead.
see, I mean the superhumans have been around for a good long while as much as of supernatural beings, because in its ancient past, like supernatural beings and humans have lived side by side. However, due to major factors from witch hunts to internal strifes, it actually causes tenuous peace between humanity and the supernaturals to unfortunately take a sour turn, which causes them to go underground as well. However, for supernatural beings who can shapeshift into humans, they're able to continue to live amongst their human neighbors, which of course prompted it in the creation of an organization called the Black Rose. Black Rose, which is essentially made to
Don't want to give
what's
away
this
too
made
much
as a
though.
balance. I don't want to like. All right, sorry. All right, when you keep on rolling, I can't help but share like what I cooked up.
Is it a movie, a book, or you said 7 books, right?
7 books,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
7
this-
books.
This is
Jesus,
book
7
one.
books, dude.
Book one because this is actually because since it said that 1967, this is occurring during the Vietnam War, and the endpoint is 1975. However, since it's an alternate history, let's realize what events that led up to the Vietnam War, among other major or obscure incidents in history, have occurred differently, including their reasons.
Interesting.
What is this hero? What are, if you mind me asking, what are his powers? Can I ask that specifically? Does he have a specific power or ability?
Yeah. So besides being an immortal, with him, like each immortal have a different set of powers. Or that is either as primary, secondary, and titular. So.
I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
So with Cisco's case, is he can bend reality in a localized area. So if you want, so he can like change, bend time, space, like whatever you can think of.
I like it.
All right.
I do.
Y'all ready for the
All
next
right,
one?
Wolf, that makes you the last one.
All right, you guys gonna have to time me then.
Yep.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
And go ahead.
2, 1, go.
So we have been going through the times of 80s reimaginings and 80s nostalgia. But when the last time have we even tried anything 90s related? And for me,
Not for a long time.
since I'm like the rewrite or the remake guy, I'm gonna give you guys another remake. How about a remake of a not so well known 90s property that could have taken off if it was baked well. I am talking about a complete story of Warriors of Virtue.
Oh my God! There's a
That
blast
silly,
from the
all
past.
right.
that silly kangaroo movie that used martial arts and all that good stuff. How about we take the main character, Yun, Warrior of Water, virtue of leadership, and pair him up with the man who will later become the villain, Komodo. Take those two characters and give them an Obi-Wan Anakin Skywalker relationship, except for they're not master and student. They're the closest friends ever, and they go on a journey to fight a certain darkness that is threatening Tao and the life streams.
Mm-hmm.
These gentlemen go these paths on different motivations. Yun wanted to be the champion hero, where Komodo wants to be the one who gets rid of the evil for all and use it for fame and glory. However, Yun is always trying to keep his fellow man on an even keel. He even made a promise to Komodo's sister, Alicia. That's right. We're going to recontextualize why Alicia betrayed the Warriors of Virtue later on in the first movie. Because Komodo, or Dan, let's go with Dan, was her brother. And over time, he consumes himself into darkness. Yes, that's right, guys. This show, yes, it's going to be a show, was inspired by the prequel series, The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. And it'll be called, as such, Warriors of Virtue, The Dawn of Tao. I'm done.
I'm impressed. All right.
2
You
minutes
already have me
and
sold.
36 seconds.
Yep,
Yeah, my
2
bad,
minutes.
delay.
Yeah, I got the exact same thing. Final.
2 minutes and 36
Wow.
seconds.
Wow. I'm just gonna say, wow, Warriors of Virtue. That is taking me back.
I am not familiar with Warriors of Virtue, but that pitch has me drawn in already. I love your enthusiasm, and it just sounds it sounds fresh idea to me, and I love the Dark Crystal connection. So
Just
I'm
remember,
already
guys,
pulled into it.
Just remember, guys, no matter how much time you do with your pitch, always remember to always make a good impression with your pitch as well. Try to,
Well,
as I always try to tell you guys, do your best to get over. But let's get back into my story. What questions you guys got?
so we're gonna have no real world modern day connection. This is taking place solely in the fantasy world.
Solely in Tao.
Okay.
Yes, but yes, there will be a newcomer.
Hmm.
It'll be
Oh, I
prophesized.
Well,
Okay, because this is a prequel to the movie, right?
Yeah, you can even.
It's a
you can even
prequel.
list it as a prequel to the movie.
It's going to be a prequel, but then as the series goes, I'm guessing it's going to be a reimagining of the movie.
Yep. Or
Okay.
you can just survive the movie and its sequel and just go with this one as the original story.
Okay.
I'm wondering here. What made you wanted to do like a prequel reimagining of Warriors of Virtue?
As I said
Good
to you guys
question.
plenty of times, so many times, guys. I tend to see the potential in a movie that went bad.
It was a movie that had, talk about a movie that had all the right ingredients, but was just so poorly executed.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that. I have seen movies that have great ideas, but the execution
There I
is
said
really
it's the
bad.
same thing with Pacific Rim Uprising. I saw the potential in that movie and that sequel, and it wasn't there with the movie that we got. So let me.
It doesn't. It's like it, and that was the problem that I had with Pacific Rim Uprising is that it was suffering from an identity crisis. It's like it wanted to be anything but itself, and that was the problem I had with Warriors of Virtue. It's that like they kept trying to throw in the modern day slang and all this, like
It wanted to be the next Ninja Turtles movie, and it should have been its own thing. It had the ingredients to be its own world, own thing. You know that the Warriors were meant to be like the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. It could have been its own thing. So think about it like this: what if there was What if there's a great evil before Komodo? So let's go with that. What if Komodo and what if Dan and Yun were the best of buds? And this is why Yun, we have to give context to why Yun left the Warriors leaderless. Also, what I'm going to be doing for the Warriors, I'm going to redesign them. The thing is, they kind of look samey. They do have distinct outfits and dresses, but I want to give them a bit of a distinction. So like Yun could bear his muscles, if you guys are into that thing. Yi will wear metal in a way, yes. Lai with the power of wood. He could be a monk style, you know. Sun will be of course being the female. She'll dress accordingly, you know, in very graceful attire that suits her fighting style. And this is before they even get their virtues. This is where Master Yao will also put them on a pilgrimage, each of them. So the first season will end with the new villains approaching a new leader, and they ask, "Who are you?" And the figure says, "Call me Komodo."
I like that.
That's how I want to end it.
Oh, we lost Schooner.
He'll be back.
Don't worry, he'll be back.
Anybody got any more questions?
Well, I like the idea that you want to take a story that was badly done, but you saw potential for good in it, because we don't see a lot of that. We don't. So you sucked me in when you said that, because I do think that going back and fixing a story to get it right is a good idea. Now, you're saying that this is a television series. This is how you envision it, as a TV series. Okay. Are we talking?
I've been dancing around ideas, but I'm falling on to television series.
Is this live action or animated that you're thinking? I'm thinking live action.
You know what? Production value, if I had to make it live action, yeah, I think I might have to just go with animation, actually.
Okay. Because I would love to see these.
I think it would also help too, because the anthropomorphic kangaroos are already a hard sell.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Especially
How is that a hard
costuming.
sell?
When it comes to costuming, if you've seen the movie itself, the fact that you have to keep the actors dressed, especially it's not just the
Especially performing martial arts moves.
That too.
Come on. Kamen Rider has done that for years with people in suits, and you're gonna say, "Oh, it's a hard sell." No, it's not.
I mean, you got.
I'm saying it's a niche. I'm saying it's a niche. I'm saying it's a niche audience, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, that kind of stuff. It's
Kamen
a niche
Rider.
audience. So, and if you're gonna sell this kind of thing, you got to make these characters relatable. They're basically saying, "Oh wow, I can find something in common with an anthropomorphic kangaroo." Yeah, that's a weird sentence.
Also, we can have Lai think that the reason why Yun left them was because of the affection towards Sun. When in reality, it's because he lost his friend.
Yeah, I like the fact that we're gonna make the bad guy a tragic bad guy, not this cartoonish cardboard cutout patty.
Hey, he was actually.
I mean, that's the only downfall I see in the pitch, but it could work.
Well, no. The spirit takes over his body and becomes a new entity. That's why he's called Dan first. But like I said, he went in there with the wrong reasons. And when the newcomer comes in, see, this is the reason why I want to incorporate why Komodo when they combined their elemental abilities, he became normal at the end of the movie. You know, where he comes in like,
Okay.
"Hello, I don't know where I am. I seem to have lost my way. I don't know where to get home." And Young comes to him. And he says, "You are home, and we'll be your friends." And he smiles.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that hits the heart right there. It's like,
Especially if you want to incorporate this show with the movie,
Yeah.
yeah,
it'll leave credence to it, even though it's going to be a complete tonal shift compared
it's a
to the
tone
series.
shift, but it's going to be respectful.
Yeah.
It was respectful to what came before, and here's the thing that I think it's great is that it's respectful for what came before, and it's allowed to laugh at itself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, it's a series that you can decide to incorporate with
Mm-hmm.
the movie, or you don't. Take your
Yeah.
pick. I leave it open enough for you guys to say, okay, we don't need to watch past season 2 because season 2 might just detract from where the movie will begin. Just
Yeah.
leave off at season 1 and just stick with the movie if you like. If it'll be for fans by a fan, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I like that movie. I just know that it was not up to snuff.
It's a guilty pleasure. You can
Exactly.
see it. You can watch it. You see everything that is wrong with it. And you could even say, yeah, it's kind of dumb. Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but I like it. I enjoy it for what it was trying to do. I'll give you an A for I'll give you an A for effort, but an F for failure. It is a failure.
I feel the same.
The movie goes along with your taste, Draco. It's definitely an isekai's movie.
You know what? And if it was going to be a TV show, I say let's get the Russo brothers involved.
You think so?
Oh
For
yeah.
the action?
Oh yeah, for the action.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hell,
I agree.
I'll hire Yaya Haran and Sep and Yaya from the raid and Iko Iwais.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know what? I'm sorry. No, not the Russo brothers. This is animated, you said. So let's get Gennady Tarkovsky.
They actually would be perfect.
He would be perfect.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I don't want him anywhere near the ending.
No.
That's the only downside to Gennady Tarkovsky is that he have a problem with endings.
Well, they keep canceling the shows.
Well, it's not even that. It's just even with a show that isn't canceled, he still can't stick the landing.
I will agree that I think Primal ended abruptly. The only real show that I thought had a great ending was Samurai Jack.
Yeah,
Well, if
and that was because he was given that to end it, and he had already planned. He already knew where the end of the story was going to be.
Yeah, however, at the same time, if you play Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, it actually gives you a golden ending if you complete a certain task in the game, which actually gives you a better ending than the one that was given to us in the final season of the series.
I'm also going to say that too. I'm just like, damn it, the video game gave us the better ending. I'm like, all right, Tarkovsky, you gave us an ending.
It's one of the reasons why I'm a little worried. It's one of the reasons why I'm a little worried about if he ever had to get back on Symbiotic Titan.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little worried that he might give Symbiotic Titan a satisfying ending itself either. Symbiotic Titan is kind of a divisive show in a way.
It's the black sheep of the Tarkovsky. It's the black sheep of the Tarkovsky shows.
I wouldn't say that. It's just
yeah, it's a good quality. Now, briefly going back to the ending of the final season of Samurai Jack, like an argument can be made that at the ending was probably didn't actually what Tarkovsky had in mind.
Yeah, true. But I'm just going to say, I am just going to say, though, that Samurai Jack, the final season, really did. I was just surprised by it. It totally brought back everything I loved about the show. And I thought it was beautiful. And it took it to that next level of maturity. It didn't tone itself down for kids. It went up for the adults. It was for the fans.
So, any more questions for Warriors of Virtue, Journey of Tao, or Dawn of Tao?
Are they all gonna question? Are they all gonna have their same personalities, or just a little more like I was saying about Samurai Jack, a little toned back?
Same personalities, a bit more added though. Like I said, the whole rivalry between Yun and Lai over the fictions of Sun. You know,
it's not only since this series is not only a prequel, you're using it as an opportunity to fix as well as expand certain aspects of Warriors of Virtue from the plot to the characterization of each of the warriors.
And Chi talks.
Oh wow!
Before he stops talking due to what Komodo does to his homeland.
All right.
So you can kind of get a bit of a before this happened.
Yeah.
Okay, someone is playing a Sonic game. I keep hearing ring sound and then hearing the stage start music.
That's me.
It's man.
That's Roy.
Which one?
Adventure 2.
He can't help himself.
Look, man. This is what we have to listen to almost every day whenever we come here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as the weekends.
Yes, Draco. Sorry, but this is quite common.
Does not mean I'm not interested in what we're talking about.
No, I believe you.
It says that's background noise.
Yes.
I mean, what better way to do that? You know, add more comedy, right? I just died.
Oh. And then while we're discussing among ourselves, we have to decipher. He seems to hit his exclamations right when we're talking about something. We have to decipher between we've learned
Monster Hunter this time.
Yes, because his passion for the game definitely comes out as he's playing it. But I'm sold on the pitch. If I had one final question, is this also a good versus evil story?
Always. The great evil is the darkness that they're trying to defeat. That's again threatening the life streams of Tao.
Okay.
Now I haven't given it a name yet, but I was thinking about doing. Maybe I go the Daishi route when it comes to say Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Let's give it Burai. Or let's give it its proper name, Komodo.
That'll work.
And it's them that's trying to defeat this sort of evil, but Dan ends up becoming the evil.
Well, you've sold me on it. I'm not familiar too much with that world, but just by that pitch, I want to know more about it. You've drawn me in. I'm excited for it.
I want to give it the good old Anakin and Obi-Wan storytelling.
Yeah, that's what piqued my ears.
Or the very least, my version of Anakin and Obi-Wan's. If I had to script doc Lucas's prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
That's what perked my ears when you said that. I said, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I wouldn't let you script doc the prequel trilogy. George Lucas is perfect. How dare you?
Draco Knight, I'm right there with you. I don't know what I keep rewatching the prequel trilogy and I say to myself, what am I not supposed to like about this?
I say the same thing too. They're not that bad. I say the same thing.
Somehow the sequel trilogy made us like the prequel trilogy.
Or at the very least, Or at the very least,
or at the
go
very
back
least,
to the,
a lot of, or at the very least, a lot of the criticisms people had, it was like, yeah, we have our criticisms about the prequel trilogy, but they are in no way measure up to the crime that is the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like this. The thing is, we miss proper storytelling,
Yes.
Mhm.
whereas the sequels only provide us merry-go-round, run around storytelling.
It was the
well, it's
anti-Star.
not just,
It was very anti-Star Wars.
Definitely
Exactly.
Last
I
Jedi.
mean, it's not just the prequel and the original trilogy, but the expanded universe. It helped continue Star Wars when we didn't really have any new material. Sure,
In
well,
fact, to this
in terms
day,
of films,
in fa-
we didn't have any new films like for a good long while. Well, but the expanded universe helped not only continue really where Luke and the others left off, but also introduced us to new characters that are just as enduring as the trio.
Mm-hmm.
in fact, to this day, lawyers are still making a case saying that, Your Honor, while my client's crimes may be terrible and horrific, they are nothing compared to the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
All right, case dismissed.
In fact,
Well,
in
but-
some countries, in some countries, it is still the preferred method of torture. Have him watch The Last Jedi. No,
or Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
you have to
okay.
sit through that for sheer torture.
no,
Yeah.
please, anything but that. I'll confess to any crime, even the
Any more
made-up
questions
ones.
before you start wrapping up?
Wait,
No,
what is
actually, I think it pretty much wrapped up perfectly.
Oh, okay.
All
You guys
of
didn't
these
see that coming, did y'all?
No, I did not see. No, just like with your last elevator pitch with the Magic School Bus, I was just as surprised with that one.
Yeah, live action Magic School Bus movie. That was the last pitch
Mm-hmm.
I did, and nobody saw that coming.
Nope. Just
No.
like I didn't see Warriors of Virtue.
I was like, I got something that you guys would not have seen coming, and I'm telling you this to Draco specifically because he wasn't there for that one. And I said, I'm gonna do a live action Magic School Bus movie,
Well,
and it ended with Arnold taking control of the Magic School Bus.
Well, all of these
but that's-
pictures were fantastic. All of you guys, wow. I'm like, goodness gracious.
I expect every single one of you to write all of this out. I want to read every single one of your stories.
Man, I do kind of want to
That's
flesh out my
showing
pitch for it because, like,
catfishing.net.
dang.
and just,
I
and
still
just
have
in
the
case,
Star Wars series to finish. It's like, man, I can't be having that right
and just in
As soon as
case,
like-
if any of you have any more questions about the Black Rose saga, you're more than welcome to.
I mean, as soon as I'm done with Light and Darkness, that will be my second story that I would
I'm
work on.
still on a thrill writing Bouncers, and I think I'm going. I've been dancing around this. I've said this in Discord, in the Rise Room Discord, definitely. I just might have to embrace the mech side of After Years, or at least the pitch, or at least the inspiration for what made me decide to write Bouncers the way I wrote it. Furry robot jocks. I might have to embrace the mech side.
Is Michael
So-
Savage going to be in it?
Huh?
Michael Savage, because you said it's the After Years, right?
It's furry robot jocks.
No,
In other
no one
words-
got the After Years joke. Okay.
You're funny. But no, I think I'm going to just. I'm debating on whether I should have them as mech suits or power armor.
You decide. I vote for Power Armor, but don't let me sway you.
Well, the thing is, I want to make sure it lines up with what comes after. Basically, in After Years, the war started with mech warfare, and it gotten so bad to where they rely on essentially power armor.
Man, can I confess something?
Go ahead.
The pitch I came up with, I came that up with just today, like not far from before the stream.
Well, good
And
for
one of
you.
these days, I want to break down these pitches and add them to their separate own videos I should have done that last year. So
I
let's
mean,
sure
there's
I'll go ahead.
no, I didn't want to interrupt you. It's nothing. It's just I was saying maybe in the next day or two I'll probably post to MeWe a further my pitch in more detail. Write it out.
You guys do all that.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I'll probably at least I'll outline my idea, even if I don't do the story yet, because I've already got a series to finish first. I can't be like switching projects too much.
First of all, congratulations on getting part 2 ready.
Yeah.
Also, congrats on also getting published.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell, he's on a roll, dude. Don't lose that momentum. People are buying your books, especially 20, and I'll make sure I'll be next in line for that one. And when I do, I'm gonna read the shit out of that book and do a video review, a recorded review of your book.
Man, I can't wait for it. I'm excited to see what you think.
I'm waiting for tax season to roll over. So I use my tax return to purchase that as well myself. So try my best not to keep you waiting. So anybody who would like to join us again for another elevator pitch and whatever the genre we're gonna take on this time, which is sci-fi.
Yes!
Yes!
Perfect. Right up my alley.
I know y'all game. I'm talking about the people in the chat.
Still, I'd love to do some.
Come on, man.
Come on, we are all lifelong fans of sci-fi.
I'm fucking with y'all.
Yes.
But yeah, I would like for maybe Humble Mari to join us someday for that one, if she's game. As a matter of fact, now that I'm bringing her up, probably in April, we're gonna have Humble. We're gonna interview Humble about her books.
Sweet.
That's nice.
Let me see. How soon we can do that? In fact, we might do it a lot sooner if she's game. Because I ain't got nothing completely planned this much in March. Let's check April real quick. We can't do it on the 1st. That's on a Saturday. Probably can do that. I would cover that real quick. Actually, when's April Fool's?
April the 1st.
Okay.
Which is a Sunday.
Saturday.
You are.
I'm sorry, Saturday.
We're just trying to get the.
You're in luck, Humble. You do not have to stream your stuff on April Fool's. We're doing it on the 4th.
All right.
April 4th. The first Tuesday. So I hope you got anything. Hope you are ready to talk about your books that day. Prim yourself up, power yourself up, glow yourself up if you have to. Rehearse yourself if you have to, and send me some links to your books so I can have something to show for your books. But other than that, we'll be taking care of that. What am I supposed? Okay, what are we doing next again? We're definitely continuing Volume 3 of Akira, Volume 3. Later on, before that, actually. Okay. March 14th, we'll be doing Jurassic Park Trilogy. April 11th, we're going to be doing movie ideas with Matthew Flynn. That is, we're going to be taking the original early aughts Marvel movies and form our own personal MCU, aka the Marvel Knights, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Blade, and the Punisher. And see what we could do if we had our own little MCU with those dark superheroes.
And get to see where we can have them fit into the greater Marvel universe during either the end of Phase 1, early Phase 2, or during Phase 2.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's probably when I will come in, is at that part. Although it makes me very angry.
Fantastic Four.
I understand. You already made it
for
clear.
the third time.
You made it clear to me we're not going to the Fantastic Four. So I will.
What?
Draco, I said the same thing.
That would be if we were doing the.
That's what I thought.
That'd be if we were doing the 20th Century Fox Marvel movies.
Dang it, Doctor Doom needs a redo.
Yes, that I do agree.
Or at least we'll do our 20th Century Fox X-Men reimagining. How about that, guys? Somewhere in the summer.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
But I'm handling the Wolverine movies.
Wow, you get that?
What?
Okay, just so long as well, if we're doing that, I think we all
Wolverine ain't my favorite character. I'm still helming the Wolverine movies.
Okay.
God damn it.
Right.
Draco, you'll be my partner in crime. We'll brainstorm.
I would have fixed the Fantastic Four movies. Doctor Doom needs a redo.
This ain't about pitching. This is what we discuss on what we would do if we were writing.
One of these days, I got to share with you my Fantastic Four rewrite. Tell me what you think.
Draco, I was thinking the
Draco.
same thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Well,
the same
if I
thing.
was to do a Fantastic Four
He specifically talked about the more darker heroes in the Marvel during the early 2000s.
Yeah, before we got the MCU, where they were brainstorming. Hell, you can run the Hulk, Draco. That's
The
close
Hulk.
enough.
Okay. Hulk needs a redo too.
Well, if I were to do a Fantastic Four movie, I would actually do it. I'll have it be an adaptation of the first issue.
Or rather, we did the Phase 4 rights. Let's do the Phase 5 rights.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Ant-Man. Oh, so you want me to fix Ant-Man Quantumania? Right. I'll fix it.
You need to go back and watch all the videos of the Phase 4 rights. We ain't doing that shit. This is following after my rewrite of Endgame.
So Draco, he said, so we have to pick up after his rewrite of Endgame. That's how you want us to do it.
That means you have to. I broke them down. They're in the video section. You can watch all of those to catch up, Draco.
All right then.
Because my rewrite of Endgame changed all that shit. It's the reason why we got the Captain America Phase 4 right. We have in fact, as a matter of fact, I also rewrote Captain Marvel. So we got a better Captain Marvel. You can handle that. Can you? I'm kidding. I'm lying to you like a motherfucker. Not kidding. You will handle She-Hulk and the Hulk.
You're putting
For
me in
Phase
charge of
5.
She-Hulk? All right, fixing She-Hulk. Okay, that should be easy. It's not like I can do any worse.
Here's what my plan was. My plan was the next Hulk movie, the very next Hulk movie, in the laundry list of MCU movies that's so star for a Hulk movie, we would have Jennifer Waters introduced into that movie. Period. So the only way we would have got her in there was another Hulk movie.
You know, if I had it my way, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. The first time Jennifer Walters would have made her appearance would have been in Civil War. When they're pulled in and Cap and Falcon and Black Panther have been arrested and they're brought into the room and they have no representation. I can see Jennifer Walters coming in. Halt, wait a minute, hold up. You can't hold these gentlemen. I'm here to represent them. But she's in her Jennifer Walters form. She's not hulked out yet, but she's in that. That's where I would have first made her make her first appearance.
In fact, we could have also introduced the Department of Superhuman Affairs.
Right. Yeah. That.
Oh, we can bring Valerie Cooper in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And guess I got one for you guys. Because we already introduced the Fantastic Four in our Phase 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we introduced the X-Men. And we introduced what else we did introduce when we did that? Shit. We introduced a lot of shit, but our biggest Marvel event for Phase 5. Y'all ready for this?
Yes.
Shoot.
Our biggest event leading up to Phase 5 is Secret War.
Yes.
So, do you want us to write our version of Secret War? Is that what you're asking?
No.
Okay.
During your ideas of pitching the story, your end credit scene has to lead up to Secret War.
I
So
see.
Draco, you get to handle Spider-Man.
Man, Secret War is a mess.
Not that Secret War.
Which Secret War are we
OG
talking
Secret
about?
War.
That's still a mess.
1984.
a mess.
Yes.
All right, we'll have to have this debate for another time.
Yeah.
Secret War is
No,
the
it's just
best,
a
man.
mess.
What the hell is wrong with you?
The Beyonder.
She's talking about the 1984 Secret Wars.
Didn't that
Well, we're
involve
not
Beyonder?
we're not talking. Look, we're not talking about Secret Wars 3 from 2015, but which was held by Jonathan Hickman.
Not that one. The one with the Beyonder, which is in the original Secret Wars.
You hate Secret War that bad?
Man,
No, I don't hate it. It's just it's a mess of a storyline.
okay, look,
We can condense it.
we can save this discussion later.
Right. We'll have it later.
What did we lead up to in Phase 4? What were we leading up to for Phase 4?
I forgot. I don't remember. I can
I'm about
remember
to go
right
back
now.
to that.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you said the videos, the changes start at Endgame, right?
Yes. You
Dang
did.
it! That means Age of Ultron is still made. Ah!
I'll still make Age of Ultron work.
Ultron needs a rewrite.
But the whole fact of what our plan was in Phase 4 was to catch up on. In fact, before we even got to Endgame, we were going to catch up before that. What was going on in that 24-year gap? What was that? What was that gap? How much was that gap? Was 7 years, right? Was it 7 years?
In
That was more
Endgame,
than
the gap in Endgame? That was 5 years.
Yeah. What was the gap again?
It was
was
5
5
years. Yeah, it was 5 years.
So what we were going to do was short videos or short stories detailing what happened during that 5-year gap, and what we were leading up to was, or at least what they were occupying themselves was 10 rings. And to catch you up, Draco, 10 rings association, as in 10 rings of each sect around the world. So you had 10 rings Russia, that was Black Widow's movie. 10 rings China, that would be Shang-Chi's movie. 10 rings Egypt will probably introduce Moon Knight at some point. Stuff like that. 10 rings doesn't mean a group called the 10 rings. 10 rings mean as in a worldwide arms dealership associated with 10 rings. And we also had 10 rings Africa ran by Killmonger.
Oh yes, so a better Black Panther movie.
Yeah, I would have wrote that shit. I already did my Black Panther rewrite. If you can check that one out too.
Yeah, I have to get updated on all of this.
Yeah, because he was part of that too. Ulysses Claw was also part of that. 10 Rings Africa. And their whole purpose is arms dealership, selling the best weapons to the highest bidder at all times. That's it's always traced back to the first Iron Man movie, which that those guys, all they wanted to do was use weapons, arms race, period.
Neostar's right. Why was it called Age of Ultron when it was like 3 days?
Because the comics had the name. Ugh.
I know, but
Bob Viz actually cleared that up.
Yeah.
Check out his review of Simpsons Age of Ultron if it's still available.
The Birdman?
But he actually cleared Bob Viz, not the Birdman. Bob Viz.
Okay.
I don't care about the Birdman that much. He cool. Don't get me wrong, he cool. But some stuff he says for his reviews, I just don't agree with it half the time. I ain't got time for
Yeah,
that shit.
like the whole so no. Laurie Strode and the Shape are related. No, that's stupid. But that's a Halloween debate for another time. So
Well,
trying to wrap
no,
it
I
up.
don't like how he references also police brutality on that shit. I was like,
I don't like that. I didn't like that. It's like, oh boy.
Joke or not, dude, keep your thoughts in order.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a joke. I really don't care if it's a joke.
Right.
You keep that shit out of your mouth.
Before we wrap up, I have a question. You
Yes,
guys
sir.
seriously want me to like work on fleshing out my pitch? Like,
Yes.
is that garner serious
Yeah.
interest? Yes or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Expand on it.
Yes. Love
All right.
to.
Now before I even start doing the whole wrapping up thing, I have to make a mention. Our community tab about the whole weekend streams. You guys are gonna make Dom happy. We're gonna continue weekend streams.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Okay,
The
are they
options
gonna be
was yes, no, maybe. I don't know.
Nobody got that reference.
No, they
Nobody's
didn't.
going to get that.
I
They sure
got
as
it.
hell ain't.
I was going to ask.
No, I meant like when he put up the community tab and he just used those for the answers. It says yes, no, maybe, or I don't even know. No one's gonna get that until you finally sing it.
Mhm.
May
How
I
is
ask-
anyone supposed to get this when they don't even get what that's even from before you start singing?
I mean, if I add the fifth option, can you repeat the question? Maybe they would have gotten it. But
How
go
could you
ahead.
even why repeat the question
Not
when they
every-
already can look at it right now?
Look,
That's
dude, not
redundant.
everyone grew up on Malcolm in the Middle like us.
They didn't
I
group
know
in the same
that. I've
era
seen
as
that
we,
show.
But Leia has a question. Go ahead, Leia.
Are you doing Saturday and Sunday, or just pick one day?
It's a toss up.
Okay.
It depends on how the day is going to go.
And the time, I would have to really check because
Usual
Saturdays I'm
time.
using. Okay, so you're having streams on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Pop, switch them up, change them up.
Okay.
Change up every week, every weekend. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Just keep the
I will-
notification going, guys.
Yeah, I would have to
Yeah,
double check because Saturdays, the weekend, sometimes I'm out and I'm not on social media that often. So I would have to really check
Put
with
it this
you.
way, Leia. It gives you a time to take a break from this stuff.
Okay.
Don't rush yourself to join us every weekend.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
You come first. Remember that, guys. You guys can't show up. You just can't show up. I'm just hoping that Owen will be joining us every once in a while, if he can.
And Yoni.
And Yoni, definitely Yoni, if he's not working that day.
Yeah, because I remember the last time we had a live stream, like he was really invested with our music discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
that was
you
fun.
know what? Maybe we might as well make that a thing. There's a lot of talk of music, and we hardly talk about music that much. So let's say weekends is always where we go to talk about music, and maybe Saturday morning stuff as well, or Sunday morning stuff. Reminiscing, get away from the usual talk. What do
Okay.
y'all say?
I'm open to it.
That's not a bad idea. I'm willing to try it out.
Not bad.
One topic I was going to bring up, well, the Academy Awards this weekend. I have no plan to watch, but someone brought this up that I'm not watching them because I could give 2 cents, but somebody noticed how stupid the red carpet has become. Like the interviewers, they don't know how to talk. The art of talking to a celebrity is dying.
Oh damn!
Oh,
wait
gee,
to
I
hear
wonder
that.
why.
Yeah, they
Because
don't
they're not hiring real journalists anymore.
Oh, so
Well,
true.
The
Well,
working
the
person
real
is
journalists have
dying
taken their
off.
businesses elsewhere.
That and the working person is dying off. The idea of a person that does work for the sake of doing what they love and doing the job right
Well,
is going away.
well, they want to kill it off.
Yes,
That's it.
I totally 100% agree with that.
They just
They're
want to
not,
kill what makes us human. Have you noticed that?
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they want to be pod people at this point. Just sit in the pod in a simulated
It
world
seemed like
of their
it.
own fantasy. You know what? Maybe we should put our fucking tax money to build that shit for them so they can live in virtual reality for a world, feed off of fucking tubes until they die.
You know, potentially, we can talk about Chris Rock's new comedy special.
Yeah, we can talk about that too.
You know, look, I've not seen it yet. However, what I do know is from what I heard through the grapevine, and that is that Chris Rock he was tearing like PC culture to shreds, including Will and Jada.
Which I have to
Anyways,
agree
let's
they
end
kind
on
of
that.
yeah, we'll end on that.
So, like, thank everybody for being here. Those, Jesus, 8 of you and those 9 of these motherfuckers keep popping in and out. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your pitches and surprising everybody in this chat with your pitches. Would love to do this again in the near future of this year. So, thank you, everybody, starting with the Schooner Tuna.
Coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground. This is Schooner Tuna. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you liked our little pitch here, let us know in the comments section if there was anything you would like. If you have any questions for our pitches, or even if you'd like us to cover anything in the future, make a suggestion down below. But until then, this is Schooner Tuna signing off. Bloop, 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 bloop.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us in tonight's live stream for Elevator Pitch Fantasy. If you like what you heard, make sure you put it down in the comments section down below. However, if you have topics that you want us to discuss in the future, do that as well. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, and remember to continue on and keeping hope, idealism, and optimism alive in the world, because there are individuals out there who want to bring us and everything else into darkness.
The lovely Leia Valor, Leia plus size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and thank you so much for joining us for these pictures with these talented, creative crew that we have. I hope that we inspired you, and if you still again have any suggestions of what you'd like for us to rant about up here, or any other suggestions for pitch ideas you'd like for us to try, please leave them in the comments below. I am very sure Wolf will appreciate that. But until then, you all enjoy the rest of your week until I see you again.
Our guests and our technically Sixth Ranger, the Star Warrior himself, Draco Nightmare.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. I hope you've enjoyed our pitches. But now it's time for the Star Warden to take his leave. Remember, stay strong, do good, and slay evil.
Last but not least, the Warrior of Light, who enlightened us with his amazing pitch, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell, that way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf10 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And be sure you stay tuned for tomorrow on my channel, continuing, this time doing episode 2 of Comic Studies, covering Justice League, the world's greatest superheroes, this time on Batman War on Crime. And
Sweet.
And then on March 17th will be the Final Fantasy 15 rewrite. And then a week after that will be episode 3 of Final Fantasy Rolls, covering the Red Mage class. And then a week before my birthday will be Comic Studies of Kingdom Come. So be sure you stay tuned for that. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. Thank you. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Spinning welcome everyone. Wolf10 reminding you guys once again to look over to the heavens in yonder, for we will also bring in Eloise next time for her to talk about her pitch next time. But also to remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
You gotta.